everyone. So, there are tons of reasons to study abroad in Northern Ireland, but in this video I am going to limit it to my favorite 8 reasons. Reason number 1 is the history. Northern Ireland has such an interesting and emotional history, and it's all around you when you visit. Murals like these can be seen all over Belfast on the city's peace walls. As a student of Queen's University, you'll have the opportunity to go to a number of museums, and you'll also be able to go to the Parliament buildings at Stormont. And it's a really interesting location where you can learn a lot from the assembly members and even ask your own questions. You'll also go to the city of Derry, Londonderry, which is an amazing place with so much to see, namely the murals and the Museum of Free Derry. You'll learn all about the Battle of the Bogside and Bloody Sunday from people who experienced the conflict firsthand. It will be an emotional and invaluable experience. You'll also go to Titanic Belfast and learn all about the construction and the short life of the Titanic. Reason number 2 is the natural beauty. Northern Ireland has some of the most beautiful natural sights I've seen in my travels. You can see Tollymore Forest Park, which has rare red squirrels, waterfalls, and various trees, notably the tall spruce trees. And you can also see the dark hedges seen in Game of Thrones as the King's Road, which are one of Northern Ireland's most photographed natural phenomena, for good reason. There's also the Giant's Causeway, which are the remains of a causeway built by the giant Finn McCool, according to legend. It's a stunning coastal area made of interlocking basalt columns, and it's unlike anything I've seen before. Reason number 3 is the arts and culture. There's so much to see and do in Belfast when it comes to the culture. One of the first things we did as students of Queen's University was learn the Céilí dance. There are also many museums around, including the Ulster Museum, which features numerous exhibits from fine art to local history. In my program, we also went to the W5, which is an interactive discovery center for kids, and we had a ton of fun. Reason number 4 is the film industry, specifically Game of Thrones. Due to its beautiful and unique rural areas, Belfast became the main location for the filming of HBO's Game of Thrones. AIFS will take you on a tour to see a bunch of different Game of Thrones filming locations, and there are a number of other tours you can choose from if you want to see more. For me, one of the highlights was certainly meeting some of the real dire wolves. Reason number 5 is the ease of access to the South. Both Northern Ireland and the South are relatively small altogether and very accessible. Traveling to Dublin from Belfast, for instance, is a mere 2-hour trip by bus. As a student at Queen's University, you'll have free weekends, and many students choose to go south during this time. Though you do get a few days in Dublin through AIFS prior to the start of the program at Queen's, there's so much to see beyond the city. I took a trip to the Cliffs of Moher and stopped to see a wonderful sheepdog demonstration along the way.
Back off. Let it loose. Sit down, stay. Sit. Lean, come up here, lean. Lean, back up here, lean. Back up. Now sit down. Let it do it. Now let's.
Reason number 6 is the courses. Whether you choose the Conflict Transformation and Social Justice program or the Education for Social Transformation program, you will learn a great deal about Northern Ireland's history and how that impacts the region today. As a student of the latter program, I visited primary and secondary schools, learned about the education system from those who have been a part of it for decades, and discovered how education compares and contrasts to what we're familiar with in the United States. Number 7 is the affordability. It's often daunting to spend a great deal of money just to get to a country, only to arrive and realize that everything is going to cost so much more than what you're used to paying at home. But I've noticed that that's not really the case in Northern Ireland. It seems like it's more affordable than much of the UK and Europe in general. Meals and activities are typically equivalent to or around the same as the costs in the United States, and 1 meal per day is provided at Queen's, along with some of your meals on excursions and occasionally some group dinners with AIFS. Transportation costs will be limited because you'll mostly be walking everywhere all around campus and the city center. It's all walkable. And additionally, taxis and buses are reasonably priced as well. Finally, number 8 is the people. The locals here in Belfast are some of the kindest and funniest people I've met in my travels, and everyone loves to ask where you're from and inquire about life abroad, and they're quick with a joke. And people are really friendly and helpful and will be sure to send you in the right direction if you're lost. They'll also give you all sorts of recommendations about the best places to eat and the best things to do around the city. And really, they're just so welcoming here, so I wouldn't trade this experience for the world. Those are my 8 reasons for studying abroad in Belfast, and I really appreciate you watching this video, and I hope you will study abroad in Belfast as well.